Thank you, gentlemen. This is rumor control. Here are the facts.
No. No, don't make me do this. I don't want to do this. You animals make me do this. I'm already fussing with my stupid... I got to get rid of this arm, this mic arm. Why do you guys make me do this? Why? Why do I have to talk about Ariana Grande? Why? I need answers, damn it. Tell me why I have to do this kind of crap. Animals demand it. I wasn't going to do anything. Actually, I was done for the week. I was very proud of myself. I don't know if you guys saw yesterday's, it was yesterday's live stream. Well, it wasn't live stream. It was a pre-record about Alpha Widows. And, well, lo and behold, right around the same time, Ariana Grande gets married and then drops in my lap, right? Dalton Gomez, right? Nice guy extraordinaire. I don't usually do this, so I have to give you the standard caveats here first. God, I can't even believe you guys wanted me to do this. I don't even, if you ask me to name a single song by Ariana Grande besides like God is a Woman, and the only reason I heard that is because people like threw that in my face like, what, 2 or 3 years ago, I think it was. And she was on the cover of, what was it, Elle magazine? There you go. That right there. And put those up. And so there's one brief little mention of her in my fourth book, along with Oprah Winfrey discussing about how she's the high priestess of the female religion. But she made a brief appearance, very brief, 1 sentence long in my fourth book. So. But everybody wanted me to talk about what was going on with her. And the reason why I am even mentioning this at all is because way back in 2014, when Ariana was just this wee lass, right? She was 20 years old at the time, and she was just coming up. Here we are 7 years later. However, at that time, she was mentioning about, she was in the news. She was on E channel, or whatever the hell it was. I don't know. Is E even around anymore? I don't know. I wouldn't know. I don't know who she is. Okay. I mean, I know who she is. Obviously, I know she's a celebrity. I know she's a singer or whatever. I know she's got some hit songs. Yeah. Okay. I realize I'm stepping in a minefield here, because everybody's going to go, don't you know she dated so-and-so? Don't you? No, I don't. Okay. I don't. There you go. But you asked me to do this. Unless she's like singing a duet with Tom Araya, I probably haven't heard anything she's done. Sorry, not sorry. So she's in the news right now. And I think one of the biggest reasons why she's in the news is because she married this guy. This is Dalton Gomez. He is apparently a high ticket real estate guy, 25 years old. Going on what, 16? I don't know, but he doesn't actually really kind of fit the bill of the guy she was talking about way back when she was 20 years old. Now at 27, the tender age of 27 years old, she's decided that she's going to marry this guy. Let's throw this one up there again. There we go. So why on earth is Rollo Tomasi even mentioning this? Well, because this guy doesn't exactly look like the alpha archetype that you would expect from a woman who was famously, who has in her past, let's just say at 20 years old, a mere 7 years ago, was explaining to E about how she likes bad boys. So let me switch over here real quick. I got to put the audio back on so you don't get echo. There we go. So let's listen very briefly. I promise this will be over quick and painless today.
They'll want me to ask, what does your ideal guy look like? Do you have kind of some qualities?
Lots of tattoos.
Lots of tattoos? Is it
Oh, you have tattoos. I did not say that. I'm not like, oh
I thought it
god,
was-
I'm not like
oh,
flirting with
thank
you
you,
at all.
thank you, that
Please, I'm
sounds
not.
sweet.
I'm really not, but I do like tattoos. You have great tattoos. But no, I'm not
No,
at
no,
all
it's
implying
okay.
anything. No, I
Thought it was a
do
joke.
love guys with tattoos. I don't really have like a type, but I don't know. I love
I was like, you're so sweet. That's really nice.
I love guys who can make me laugh. I like funny boys. I love a bad boy. I tried the good boy thing for a minute, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Not working.
So yeah, it wouldn't work out.
Speaking about
All right, that's good enough. There's that's one of many, let's just say, instances back when she was 20 years old. Now at 27 years old, it would appear that she's not quite the same Ariana Grande of 2014 that she is in 2021. So let's have another look here. Let's go with another quote. I've done the bad boy thing. It was fun for a good 3 months. But the thing about bad boys is you have to keep in mind you're never going to marry a bad boy. Yeah, that's probably true. So why am I even making an example of her? Well, because of this. This is Sheryl Sandberg, also from 2013, 2014 was published her book, Lean In. And this is a quote I have used over and over and over again. This is standard fare, I think, in the manosphere. And I don't think a lot of people really understand where this quote came from. It is Sheryl Sandberg, CEO. I believe she's still CEO of Facebook. She certainly was at the time, or she was COO at that time. I'm not really sure. Anyways, by anyone's definition these days, at least in a gynocentric social order, she's the alpha female, and so therefore we have to listen to what a high-powered, Forbes 500, upper management woman has to say. Okay, and so of course the book is basically a manifesto of the fempowerment movement, and in there she gives a little advice to women of the age that Ariana Grande was when this came out. So we're going to make a connection here, gentlemen. When looking for a life partner, my advice to women is date all of them. The bad boys, the cool boys, the commitment phobic boys, the crazy boys. What did Ariana just say a moment ago? But don't marry them. The things that make the bad boy sexy do not make them good husbands. When it comes time to settle down, find someone who wants an equal partner, someone who thinks women should be smart, opinionated, and ambitious, someone who values fairness, expects, or even better, wants to do his share in the home. These men do exist. Sound like a wife to you? These men do exist. And trust me, over time, nothing is sexier. Do we still believe that? Is that still, I think that still holds water? I'll take that off. Well, here we are 7 years later, and Ariana has decided that Dalton Gomez is the one, right? He's the guy. And yes, I know about the other guy. Was it Parker something or other? I can't remember. Bad boy dude with the tats, by the way, I think she was supposed to marry, and then that didn't work out for her. So now she's back to, I think it was a lot more than 3 months, Ariana, but kind of reflects the same sentiment. Don't you think that, Sheryl Spanberg was talking about a little while ago. Now, let's bring this back. Let's reel it down down to planet Earth again here. It's impossible for me to talk about celebrities without somebody losing their minds over what I am saying right here. So let's just say for sake of argument, I don't honestly care who this is, whether it's Ariana Grande or Cardi B or whoever else. I don't know whoever's hot right now. I wouldn't know because not my circus. Okay, so I do see the lesson to be learned here, and so therefore I felt it was incumbent upon me to bring this up as well, especially since we were talking about this just a day ago. This here is my timeline of what you can expect from women at various stages of their maturity. This timeline you'll find in my second book. It is The Rational Male, Preventive Medicine. And in that book, the lion's share of that book, let's just say, is dedicated to helping men understand what they can expect generally understand what women's imperatives, what their priorities are going to be at various stages of maturity. Okay. So perfect example of what I was talking about in preventive medicine. If you don't go get preventive medicine after this one, I don't know what's wrong with you. So at 20 years old, you can see the alpha short term. That's where the bad boys and the commitment phobic boys and the bad for you boys and what were the other ones that she saw? Let's see. Oh, excuse me. The bad boys, the cool boys, the commitment phobic boys, the crazy boys are all right here in the party years, otherwise known as the hoe phase. I have done an episode called the hoe phase. I'll tag it at the end of this video so you guys can go and enjoy that all you'd like. However, if we look for between the ages of 20 and right about 27 years old, the party years sort of, I don't say fade, but that's the year where women, I think, instinctively understand that their agency is at their highest. You can see there right around 23 years old. That's where I peg women at the peak sexual market value for women. And that also coincides with this graph, my most infamous graph that you will find all over the internet. It doesn't matter if you look for it in the manosphere or not, is everywhere. So this is what everybody wants to run me up the flagpole for, but not today, my friends, not today. As you can see here, I peg women's sexual market value peak years right around 23 years old in this bell curve. Now, let's kick back over here again. So right about the 26, 27-year-old mark, that is just prior to the epiphany phase. And I will say this, to Ariana's credit, she is at least cashing out a little bit early. She's most likely, set for life as far as money is concerned. So she can get involved with whatever the hell she wants to get involved with. A lot of people are going to say, well, she's got these, insecure attachment dynamics or what. Okay, we can play armchair psychologist and psychotherapist all we want. The fact remains is that once the party years are waning, that is when women, just prior, I should say, to the epiphany phase. And you can see the epiphany phase begins right around 28 years old. And I'm bringing that up as well because when I did my, it's been almost a year ago, my show with Tommy Lahren, I think, maybe it's 9 months, 10 months now. Tommy Lahren hit 28 years old, and that's when she decided to post her most infamous video where she was just complaining about the state of men. And I felt it was incumbent upon me also to opine back then. So I wanted to sort of point out the parallels in this. When women are 20 years old, hell, when women are like, even prior to that, when women are 18, maybe even 16, girls as young as 16 years old, they're primarily looking for looks. Yes, they are primarily looking for that visceral, physicality. For as much as women would like to say, well, it's all about the bag. I need a guy who's got a lot of money. He's got prospects. He's got drive. He's got that. Yeah, I'm sure that's in a long-term sense. I think that there's probably something that women will acknowledge anyways. Whether that plays out in their behaviors is anybody's guess. So when we look at the party years between the ages of 20 and say 27, 28 is pushing. There's a 10, let's say 18 to 28. There's a good, rounded off to 10 years. There's a good 10 years right there where women are exploring their options. Let's just say they are playing the field. And the reason for that is sowing their wild. In any other era, this would be the era that men sow their wild oats. But this is where women are exploring their options. Because on some level of consciousness, women understand that their only real true agency in this life is their sexuality. And I don't think it is any more clear that that's the case with Ariana Grande here. When she's doing, popping off songs, God is a Woman and other things like that. We can see that she is a product of the Sheryl Sandberg open hypergamy, which is what I've referred to this as. In fact, if you go on my site, therationalmale.com, you will find, let's see, if you go and you hunt for, you know what, I'll link it in the description. You go and you look for open hypergamy, or you look up, I think I have a post called Controlling Interests. And I used both. I used this quote from Sheryl Sandberg twice in there. So this has been around for quite some time. And this is, now we're seeing the product of this. Now we're seeing a confirmation here. I hate being right all the time, right? That's why I always say on Twitter. I know that's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Take it as a joke. That's okay. God. But here it is, black and white. We can see this, and we see this played out in a lot of other women and a lot of other high profile. I mean, people who we would, celebs, I guess, for whatever. You can see this play out. Whether or not this is going to work out with this guy right here, I don't know. She looks like she's about 14. He looks like he's about 15 or 16 in this picture. Maybe that's just them pulling. I know this is the recent one right here. She looks a little bit older in this one. Now, remember, he's like 2 years younger than she is. Dude probably can't believe his luck, but whatever. I mean, it's like, what's going to happen next is people are going to say, well, Rollo, if they're happy, who cares? Well, I don't. I really don't care one way or the other. Hey, I wish you much happiness and prosperousness in your future endeavors with your husband, Ariana. But you are basically proof of concept here. And that proof of concept is this. This is open hypergamy. This is, I don't care if the men of today know this. I don't care if this is out in the open. In fact, we can see this we can see open hypergamy reflected in commercials. We can see it reflected in popular culture, popular media, whether it's a song or a commercial on TV. It makes no difference. It's humorous now because women are so comfortable with the, I want to say, duplicity. I mean, that's duplicity. If I'm saying, well, open hypergamy is duplicity, right? It's like women telling you one thing and behaving in another way, right? That's the cognitive dissonance that goes along with that. And I'll explain that to you here in just a second. But we want to call it duplicity. And when we do, we kind of make a judgment call on that. All I'm doing is pointing out the mechanics here. I'll leave the judgment calls up to my viewers and to my readers, whatever. But I wouldn't want to call it duplicity. I would like to call it sort of a cognitive dissonance. And I like to analyze this from an objective perspective. We can laugh at it. We laugh at open hypergamy. And I want to clarify a term here while I'm at it, because I've been kind of doing remedial, I guess, red pill 101 things. Is open hypergamy is not a verb, okay? Women aren't open hypergamying, okay? It is a state, it is a condition is what it is. It describes the condition. And that condition is this, is that back in the day, actually, I would say even as far back as, say, like maybe the mid-90s, it was beneficial for women to keep hypergamy secret. It was beneficial for them to just sort of keep it under the rug. And this was the mechanics. And I think most women understood that this was the mechanics. You bang the bad boy, you have fun with the bad guy, the fun with like a hot guy in the foam cannon party. Yes, that's a continuing joke. Get it. Okay. Moving on. The guy, you Giga Chad, right? Have fun with those guys while you can. Lock down the guy if you can, but don't miss out on a good, let's say, hot guy in the phone camera, right? Don't miss out on a good short-term sexual opportunity, just as Sheryl Sandberg was saying as far back, at least by 2013, actually it was March of 2013 is when that book was published. And we can see and I'm not saying that she's like sort of the grand high poobah of turning women bad. I mean, this was already a thing long before Sheryl. Okay, she was just pointing it out. That was the actual. I use this as I sometimes refer to this as Sandbergian hypergamy or open hypergamy. Women have become so comfortable now with openly calling the game out for people, for guys right now. Like they are so secure in the beta buck side of hypergamy that they see no problem embracing it just fully right now. I mean, proudly flaunting it to the point where it is a humorous commercial in the Super Bowl, right? Michael B. Jordan and the Alexa little unit or whatever it was. That funny commercial, right? then you can see things like the Gillette commercial, for that matter. Where we're trying to repress men's sexuality, sexual expression, while we are trying to almost over exaggerate women's mating strategy. And you have to look at this with a red pill lens. And that's what the moral of today's story is you can't unsee it. You can't go back. You don't take the red pill lens off again. And I know a lot of guys, some guys even struggle with that. They would like to, right? They go purple pill or they go black pill or whatever. You're not taking the red pill lens off. Once it's on your face, it's not coming back off. And so as a result of that, we see these things. We see women embracing their mating strategy that used to be more secretive. It was concealed. You had to, because that was beneficial back then, because women had more of a dependency on men as at least indirectly providers to meet the beta buck side of things, the 3 Ps: protection, provisioning, and parental investment. Now it's open. It's out in the face. It's out in the world. And we are seeing really the first generation, I think, of women who not only are embracing this, but have never known anything different. So when Ariana says, "Oh, I like bad boys. I like the commitment phobic boy," essentially exactly what Sheryl Sandberg was saying right around the same time that she was talking about this. And now it would appear that she's met the guy who wants to be the equal partner. Maybe. I don't know. I doubt that's going to happen, because there ain't no way in hell this guy makes as much money as she does. But maybe that doesn't make any difference once you get above a certain income level, or you are at a fame level or whatever. Again, I wish them the best. I wish anybody the best. I hope you can make it work out. But go look at Adele and her divorce. I sometimes I wonder if women aren't going to be the victims of their own success if they are like wildly successful, such as Ariana Grande, arguably. Okay. So I wanted to point that out today. She is definitely proof of concept, and she is also proof of cognitive dissonance. And I'm sure somebody, it can't just be me. I'm sure somebody else has done this or pointed this out, and maybe she probably realizes this too. But the Ariana Grande of 2014 at 20 years old, and the Ariana Grande of 2021 at 27 years old, the priorities have changed. Clearly, the priorities have changed. She's verbalizing the fact that the priorities have changed. And this is something I bring up constantly. The girl that you are so, is your one-itis, your soulmate, you're so smitten with, like that one you can't live without. You're writing bad poetry because you can't live without. 20 years old is going to be the Ariana Grande of 27 or 28, or God forbid the Tommy Lahren of 28 years old. So this is a moment, I think, for guys to sort of assess what's going on. If you haven't read Preventive Medicine, I get into it in much greater detail in there. But the priorities change, and not just for famous women, right? When women get to the epiphany phase, which is right around 29 to 31 years old, that's when the chips are down. That's when the lights are going to come on at the club, and you better grab somebody and run out the door with that guy really quick before the lights come on. I'm not saying you're going to hit the wall, ladies. The wall starts here. It doesn't start here. It starts here in the acknowledgement that you're not the 20-year-old Ariana Grande anymore. You're the 27-year-old Ariana Grande. Gentlemen, use this to your advantage. Leverage this to your advantage. If you're pushing 30, if you are somewhere between 28 and 30, maybe 31 years old, keep this in mind. This will protect you. This is caution. This is a cautionary tale, because as women get towards the epiphany phase, 29, 30, 31 years old, they become more necessitous. It is no longer about the agency that they used to have when they were, say, 23 years old at their peak. Now that they're at that 30 mark, and you're at about a relative, what I call the peak SMV years between the two, you're on your ascent. She is on her descent. And that is something to bear in mind constantly, because this is when the gaslighting really goes into effect. This is when women are looking for exactly what Sheryl Sandberg was talking about in her quote here. When it comes time to settle down, when would that be? When would that be, Sheryl? Clearly it's around 27, 28, maybe 29 years old. Is that the time? Because I'm thinking that that's probably the time. And when it comes time to settle down, find someone who wants an equal partner. Now we're going to get into egalitarian equalism, right? Find somebody who wants to, who thinks that women should be smart, opinionated, and ambitious. So find somebody who tells you what you want to hear. Find somebody who is willing. Find the guy who's willing to pander to you. Find the guy who won't mansplain, right? He won't man interrupt or whatever silly, stupid, jingoism we're talking about right now. Someone who values fairness or expects, or even better, wants to do his share in the home. Sounds like a wife to me. These men do exist. Oh yes, they do. There's lots and lots of them. And at the end, she tries to convince you that nothing's sexier, but it's over time. Time maybe to forget the alpha widow, the alpha guy that you are widowed from, or that she is widowed from. These are things to keep in mind. I know guys are going to say, well, I would never get married anyways. Fine, good. But if you're dating a woman between this age range, or she is approaching this age range, know what's coming. Know what to expect. Know what works. Know what leverages. You don't even play games. Well, you know what? It's all games, all the way down the line. It's just layer upon layer of games, layer upon layer of behaviors, layer upon layer of belief sets. That's what this is. And you do yourself no favors by ignoring that. You do yourself no favors by not acknowledging what women are prioritizing and when they are prioritizing it. When are women at their most necessitous? When are women at their peak of agency? Right around 22, 23, maybe somewhere around there. And when are they at their most necessitous? Probably about 31 or going on 31. We see it every day. You can't ignore it. Unplug me, cancel my channel, cancel the red pill, cancel anything else you want to. But you know what you can't cancel is seeing it right there in your face. And if I go down, everybody else will continue on. They will see this, and you can't ignore this anymore. Again, use this to your advantage. This is proof of concept. We see this here right now. You can say it's duplicitous. You can say it's cognitive dissonance, and it is, but that's part of the game. That's part of that's it. And if you buy into that and you just like look the other way, well, I'm not saying give up. I'm not saying don't play the game. Do, but play it better. Play it well to the maximum of your ability with the tools that are presented to you by the red pill. There you go. That's today's very, I was going to say very brief, but not very brief show. So if you guys have not picked up book 4, that's it right there. That is The Rational Male Religion. Also, according to, today's show, if you want any more information on like what I've talked about in this show, actually book 2 is a pretty good one. That is The Rational Male Preventive Medicine. And I said that, like I said, the timeline and everything else in there. So it's a little bit more hands-on. It's a little more application, I think. So I'll leave that, the link to that you can pick it up on Amazon, or if you really want to listen to your books, you can also pick it up on Audible. So there you have it. I will talk to you guys later. Rule 0 will be, I think John from MLD from Modern Life Dating will be Saturday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. And I will see you then. Thanks guys. Bye-bye.